You're watching 7 News Detroit this morning at 7 on TV 20.
Good morning and thank you so much for waking up with us. We are taking a live look from Southfield this Thursday, December 12th. Our live drive making their way west towards the Orchard Lake exit on 696. Now that weather is still moving through and it is cold with sub-zero wind chills. But look at that sunrise. Little good news on this morning. I'm Kiara Hay, and as I mentioned, those roads are icy. We've seen dozens of car accidents overnight and this morning. Right now, let's check in with 7 traffic anchor Allie Hoxie. How are the roads looking, Allie?
Well, we do have a handful of crashes. Most of them are off into the shoulder. That is the good news. So this is a look at the morning drive overall, where you can see we got a couple fender benders in spots. It really kind of varies throughout the Metro Detroit area. As far north here is I-75 southbound near 11 Mile, but we do have some others in other areas as well. Otherwise, even areas where we don't have like a ton of crashes here, like 696 westbound from 75 to Lodge, that is a 16-minute drive. Speeds on the average 26 miles an hour. You're likely going to be seeing that no matter where you go this morning. We do want to turn now to 7 News Detroit reporter Ryan Marshall in 7 Live Drive. And Ryan, you have been at it since 1 o'clock this morning. What are you seeing now? Has there been any improvement on your end?
Well, that is correct, Allie. Good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. And yes, we are driving eastbound on I-696. We just passed the Lodge interchange exit, and we're going through Southfield, approaching the Evergreen Road exit. And yes, roads are much clearer here, at least, where you can see some of that snow has started to melt off, and now you can see the ground. The plows have been able to get through and do what they do best in clearing the roads. It's still fairly slow going as the sun turns into my face here. Still fairly slow going, about 45 miles per hour right now, but certainly much better than it had been earlier on this morning. But we did talk to motorists before the sun started coming up about what they were experiencing out here on the roads, and this is what they had to say.
It's pretty bad out here, very slippery conditions. I would definitely drive safe if you're heading into work, but we're out here solid, making things happen.
We knew that we were going to get snow, but was it more
Not
than
this much? I didn't expect this much, I'll tell you that.
The slick, whiteouts. I was driving like 10 miles an hour, up 12 miles.
What sort of advice would you give to people out here in this condition right now?
Drive slow and try to pay attention.
Yeah.
Don't speed.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes on the road.
Certainly some good tips there for other drivers back here live in 7 Live Drive. And in our truck, it says it is 11 degrees outside. So even though these roads are much clearer on eastbound I-696, there is a possibility that those roads are still very icy underneath that snow. So please take your time, be careful, leave it a couple extra minutes to get to your destination, whether it's work or somewhere else. Certainly those are good words to heed and great tips, because it is very slow going, had been messy all morning, but clearing up a little bit here. We're in Southfield this morning in 7 Live Drive. I'm Ryan Marshall for 7 News Detroit this morning.
Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, it's great to see the improvements on the roads, especially when we know the bulk of commuters will start headed to work or school. So it's good to see that improvements are being made. From the highways to the side streets, we have 7 News Detroit reporter Brittany Toulis, who's live in Southfield this morning, checking out those secondary streets. So how have things improved, if they have improved for you, Brittany?
Look here, they have improved. As you can see, the morning commute is in full-fledged, and they've all made grooves in the lanes. The roads, there's still some slush covering on them, but where the tires are going, they look relatively clear, and you can see cars are kind of driving normal speeds here. But if you are out on these roads,
Stay home.
Yeah, see, it's cold. Even if you're not on these roads, that man was just walking by. It is cold out here. But one thing I do want to point out is if you are on these roads right here close to the curbs, you can see buildup. But even if there's no buildup, it's really compacted. So it is also slick. It may look clear, but that compacted snow will spin your tires on it, and only one tire can spin, can send you into another lane when you don't want to be. But these roads are overall clear. Yeah, but we have another driver saying these roads are a little slick. She's turning onto Telegraph right now. So when you're turning they can be slick, and we're seeing a little fishtailing, but that's the worst of what we're seeing. We talked to one man this morning on his way to work who got a nice little tip from his friend to stay safe. Just listen to what he said.
It was a rough one. It was slippery. I just didn't expect it to be like this. I got a text early in the morning that said be careful on the way to work. I saw some loose and fast drivers and some slip outs.
Well, this establishment is also taking care of the road. We just had a little trailer tractor come and sweep up a lot of that compacted snow I was talking about. So these roads are getting clearer as the day is going on, but it is still cold. So if things are melting, there's a chance they can also refreeze as well while you're out on these roads. But traffic is moving pretty steadily here. We haven't seen any issues. Knock on microphone. I'm hoping we don't see any issues the rest of the morning. And I'm going to send it back to you on the desk, Kiera. But right now, roads are relatively clear. Still a little slush covered, so drive with caution. But it's pretty clear after a Michigan morning snow. We're now live in Southfield. I'm Brittany Toulis for 7 News Detroit this morning.
Thank you, Brittany. Yeah, it seems like many of the drivers are moving slowly. Maybe they were listening to us before they hit the roads today. So thank you for all your live reporting throughout the morning. Well, let's send it over to 7 First Alert anchor Mike Taylor, meteorologist Mike Taylor. Mike, you have been checking on these snow squalls all morning. What does it look like now? Yeah, that's right. And I'm happy to say the majority of them have really fizzled out, but the advisory will continue at least until 10 o'clock this morning. And that's because there's still a possibility that another one could sneak in here, but it is looking a lot better. You're not going to find much, which was not the case over the last couple of hours. In fact, there's the last little bit of that snow squall that fell apart. Remember, we call it a snow squall. It's just an intense band of heavy snow, almost the equivalent of a heavy downpour that we would get in the spring and summer. It's the winter version of that, and that's why it can lower visibility and cause some big time changes on the roads.